Hello, good afternoon. I think there's only one of you, only you is right here, so I'll wait for a while. If when we get other students join, maybe I'll wait for around 4 more minutes. Okay, so whenever we have one more student, before we begin today's lab, I would like to recap about the last lab. If you remember, last time I shared the source code, so you will see we try to build a happy JS API server. So we just need to start the port 3000 from a local host. And just because this one is the asynchronous, so we put the all the function inside it. So we need to put async and then wait for it to start it. Okay. And here is the example to showing, okay, if I get the, give you the method using get and post, this is possible using same name, but in really practical, in today's lab, I'll show like we try not to put the same name. It's kind of confusing. And right here, we will get the data from the MongoDB, retrieve the data and return it as a JSON file. And then we also can post the some content to the server, API server. So here's a method. And today, we'll know, last time when we tested, we will just like mainly run the local host on our Ubuntu server. And after we execute, we need to like, under the same terminal, like connect to the Ubuntu and then to retrieve the data from the local host 3000. That's how we work. But in the virtual reality for implementation, we will like access from maybe from other devices or like from the WAN network and then going to connect to our server. So if we have a request sending from like from the WAN to our local host, how can we handle it? So that's what we're going to deal with it. One thing is they pretty rely on the Nginx. So today we will cover how the Nginx handle with those requests and doing forwarding. But right here I see How many of you last time able to set up the API server and then try to retrieve the data from the local host?
So I have my
Mhm,
MongoDB and Happy set up, but
mhm,
the when I try to do the post
mhm.
test, it doesn't retrieve the data. It gives me an
Okay,
error.
okay. If you have the error, you can because I think some students still coming or you can change the source code. I would recommend right here. First, I always try to put a log. I modified the source code, and then because they changed the return type, so this time we don't have to get the reason we get the error because the source code I gave you, I try to access the like the ID, but actually for the return, it doesn't contain the header. So we need to just like remove it to as a result. So it will print out the result that it will be fine. And
Okay.
yeah,
Uh,
so you just need to modify the result to just like put it like this. Then you should able to get the post.
okay.
Yeah. And
And
mhm,
so is the okay, so I'm kind of confused because in the last week we started the server.js, but then there's the API server.js, and then there's the MongoDB
mhm.
API.js.
Okay,
So
yeah, okay, so yeah, keep going, keep going. So
and so I am confused on which one is supposed to be running because I have the server.js running
mhm,
from the slides
mhm.
and uh like the server runs, but it doesn't let me, post and get the data.
Okay. Everything if you say oh if you say it's so it's confusing, and I would like to show you if we have multiple, then we need to look at the source code. Let's say if we look at the server.js, right here, do you see any like the route?
Yeah, what
Any route right here compared with the Mongo DB
like
API?
when I open my server.js, let
So
me
right
let me
here, you
check.
will see the server is running, right? But because the server, we didn't provide any route, so you will see the route right here. Let's say I have a get. If we
I
don't have
see.
it, we have nothing can retrieve or post to the
Yeah,
server.
there was no items, it was just a slash.
Yeah. Here is the example. Say, okay, step one, how to create a server. So it's called the server JS. And then I gave you another like other source code, maybe called the happy JS API server. Maybe
Okay.
it doesn't connect to the MongoDB. It's just the local. I gave you one is it looks like only the list. I need to search for
So
it.
we can replace the server.js with the contents of the MongoDB
Yes.
API.js.
Yeah. And you
Okay.
need to remember because if in the last time the lab we go through, I say we need to install one more module. The module is called the MongoDB because we need to
Hmm.
connect to the MongoDB database. So if you see the differences right here, so what we need to do just like add the one more client, add it right here, connect. And or like you can replace like from here the route. If you look at the structure right here, it looks slightly different. So we start the server and then put all those route right here, and then we call the server start. So like if you know how we loading all those functions, so we preload all the content. So we can put it right here, database right here, and then we can call the functions. If you want to change, let's say if we already install it, if you want to modify, you can do it in this way. Let's say right here, and then connect. We create the server and we preset all those connection for our MongoDB. And right now I get one more called I get a route. Okay. So if I change it to items, so you modify. So then for the route called router item route, then we will connect to the MongoDB database. and then get the data and return it. For others, we just list some like text, return some text message, and that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
So it is the one that we're having run right now, the MongoDB API one?
Yes. So right now
Okay.
I will everything right now still based on the MongoDB, this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we need to add more route, just like follow here, and then you just like put more. Let's say I want to put one more, then I put right here. And because right now we don't have any other content or like any other collection, maybe I just put other name. So call get item. So I modify and then same route, like different name, but doing same action is okay. So you can add more route with different name based on your need. That's what we're going to cover today. You can modify in our class, because right now we need to do it like locally, right? PM2. Okay. I would recommend one of the node package is called PM2. So this one we're running the node service like as a service. So right here, I see right now I'm executing one, so I do not need to put that node server API. But if I right here, because right now I'm executing, let me see, I forgot the command right here.
Do we have to, once we change the API, the server file, do we have to like do anything to update it?
For so far right now, if only the one I provide to you, you don't have to change anything. Only the things that we need to change is the result. The result, this one. Otherwise, the post will return error.
Okay.
So just
So
remove the dog something I gave you. So you will your post route will be
wait,
fine.
okay. So
Yeah.
wait, what are we removing from this? Sorry, I
Um
missed what you removed.
Okay, last time I give you the sample code where I upload. So I think followed by the result, I put the dot and then with the square and then with something, right? Because the happy.js, they modify the return value. So we do not need to put it anymore. So just like change the return, just like put it as a result.
Wait, can you stay on that?
Okay, so right here, if you look at the source code I provide to you, the MongoDB API.
Yes.
Oh, you say you got the error when you try to post the item.
Yeah.
The error because from the source code, the return value result. The original code is that I put the dot and then with the like return value is the called the ID something. But remember to remove it, leave only the result. That's it. So
Mine only
like this.
has the result, so it should be fine.
Okay, yeah. So you should be like this, then you should be fine. Only here's the reason, because when they change the version or they change the return value, sometimes they change. So it doesn't contain the like called attribute anymore. So we just need to put the only result and that's it. And here's the question you asked about. And then right now, another software we call PM2, because when we execute called the Node.js, then we every time we will like have a server like holding it, because you see it shows like the server is running on localhost 3000. Then you need to open another terminal. But when we really implement or deploy the source code as a service, then we need to let it running in the background. So one of the node modules is called the PM2. So here's I will show you. You can so the PM2 we can install Ubuntu no PM2. So right here, just it's same from DigitalOcean. What do we need to do? Just like use the command, we can install the PM2. So we use the command sudo npm install PM2 -g. G is called global. So we have two different node modules folder when we install the Node.js. One Node.js itself has a global node modules folder. It includes like different type of modules. And then the one is like called the local modules when we create the folder. So -g is like installed in the global folder. So after we install the PM2, then we can just execute using the called the npm start, and then we can put the absolute path. And right here, so I can start to surface, but it have a if I modify the content, then you'll see. I will demonstrate later. So right here, I already like start running the surface in the background. So once I check the status, it's still running, and I can show you the. Let me see. I try to let you see. You see the path right here. Okay. So under the source, we have the SRV API server, CSCI 420. So I still keep the name called the API server, so I didn't change it, but I modified the source code. So you see, like even on the server side, I call it as an API server, and then right here I connect to the MongoDB, and then I keep the path. But I change certain content. I think I already upload it to our Wednesday. So I modify part of it because I need to let it fit to our Nginx. And right now it's kind of like cover the before. So right now I will talk about Nginx server block, and then how can we modify the Nginx. So also the Nginx configuration I also upload to the our lab right here. So you will see we have two files I uploaded to the server. So one is called the API server. So I'm not going to save it. And one is called the Nginx txt. So you need to replace it or like create a new one after you connect to the content. And before we start this part, then I need to cover what's the structure. So when we need to start, we need to know actually the Nginx, how we modify the content. It was about the POP-C server, or like we handle the called the upstream server. Basically, we know Nginx is the high performance web server, and we serve like POP-C server, also use the load balancing or HTTP cache. And if you know there's some they're using called Apache. So Apache is really common, but compared with Nginx, we say it's a new common popular web server we are using right now, but it's a new, but actually it already launched maybe more than 10 years ago. So it's really happened. And for Nginx, we always have like heavy concurrency handling, efficient load balancing, static content serving, and we serve the policy and caching capability. So we cause sometimes say it's lightweight. That means less source code, but we can create a server in a better performance. So actually nowadays in the industry, when you try to type or like get an error, you see the Nginx and then it shows the version. So you know it's pretty common. The server they build, they're using Nginx as a their server, the web server. So in our Nginx configuration, so mainly it's under the folder called nginx.config. So it's all the file, and under the file available, sites available, and enable. So they are directory for site-specific configuration. So this is how we are using under the server, and then with the curly bracket. So that one is like define the virtual server, and location is how the requests are processed. So this one is like how we work. So we will see like start the server, and then we have the location. That's how we handle. Okay. And here's the example. We listen to port 80 and then give the server name. So this one is belongs to server block. And if we put the slash, that means that, okay, if we access through the we call the home, we only put the domain name. So which folder we're going to access to. We can put the root outside or inside, depends on the access. Or I say, okay, if I have the name, I will access to this folder. But another name, I will go to another root, then I change it. Index is the default file we're going to access. So this one I will declare, okay, we are going to access index.html. So here's the basic configuration of the server. And we have another concept, it's called the upstream concept. Is the backend server that the Nginx communicate with to handle the request. So we mainly sometimes we add with the load balancing. If you heard about load balancing, that means if we have multiple server or like we have multiple web server application to handle it, then we need to redirect, like which one we're going to handle which one. And we also have a reverse proxy setup. So that's how we're going to do. And also we add called the upstream block right here to decay the group of the backend server we're going to use. So we see like this and use it and then give it a name. So we will have different server. So backend 1, 2, 3, or like we direct to local servers, still okay. If you have like local different port to handle, then we can also use it. Decay in this way. So it's right here. And then for even more like advanced, we talk about load balancing. So in load balancing, we have several different algorithms. So one Ruby called the just the taking terms of each server. Like let's say I use server 1, then I will use run Ruby will be okay. I use the backend server 1. Next time I will connect to backend 2. So if that is a third connection, then I'll go back to 1, 4, go to 2 like this. And then for the least connection or like the IP hash, so all these will take in terms like to for the like selecting which server we are going to connect or assign to. And also we have the monitoring the health of the backend server. That's how the configuration for the load balancing. And one more is called the proxying. So proxy is involved like forwarding the request from the client to another server. And you say, okay, but if we define the server block, then you were thinking, okay, then why we have the local host and even the same server block, I still redirect to my own server? Then it's confusing. Actually, we treat different port can be a different server or handle it our call it on ourselves. So just like depends on what you need. So for the type of policy will be like forward the policy. So at like behalf of the client, and then we serve policy at like behalf of the server. Nginx is coming used for the policy. So there's like two type of the policy we are going to use. And when we do the configuration for the policy, so we use the policy path. So it's the directive for the request to the backend server. Or like if we have additional directives, so we have policy set header, modify the request header before forwarding, or like policy redirect, so handle the redirection. So it's right here. If you look at the example, when we declare, if we have the domain right here, access from the pub 80 comes in, and when we didn't put any like follow-up parameter, so we will pass it to another domain. Let's say backend.example.com. So set the header is same as from the host, and then we set the header the real IP. Because we are not really cover all this, so it's like okay, from our remote address we assign and then forward from the address, and then forward protocol keep the same schema. So we just like keep the same and forward to this another server. And for our implementation, because we need to handle it in our local host, so we are not putting another, but we are change to local host. And for load balancing strategy, we talk about the round robin. So this HTTP requested sequentially, and this connection just directly request to the server with the fewest the connection. So which one has the less connection? Then we just assign to the web server. And IP hash, so what the request based on the client IP address. Or maybe the IP is closer to the server or somehow then we will assign to that one. So here's the three different. And how can we add it? Just like put it as a first, we can decay in the beginning. So you can put a less connection, least connection, or like round robin or IP hash from upstream server. So they will select from this one by one. So this one got the load balancing. Basically that's how we do, like for the basically for the engineering setup configuration we are going to use for our lab, and it will be like enough for your project or like for your implementation so far. Most of the time we are not really include several different server, but unless if you want to try, then we can like create different local hosts and then to simulate using them, we need to set up different up server and then connect to the host. And let's say if right here, the source code, we start our server from localhost 3000, then we can set up multiple, like pretending. So I have 3000 and 3001, 3002, and 3003. But this one we will simulate later based on the host. Okay. And right here, I will show you after we connect the server. Then if you are able to, if you need to spend some time to fix the error, then I will let you to do that. Because in the beginning, maybe some student didn't hear that. So last time I posted the source code, the Nginx API, that one, the result, because it come with the result followed by the dog and then with some return value, but unluckily because the version it changed, so it doesn't require to get some content. So we move the dog right followed by the result. So we move everything, then you can try to run the node. Let me change the directory. Okay, and then API, CSCI. So right here. So you see, I'm still running the API server. And also I recommend one of the service called the PM2. So this PM2, if to those if you are missed, just find it. We can use the command right here called the sudo npm install PM2-G. And I will post it in the chat. So if you are able to see it. Okay. So you can install this one. And sudo get the right. If you want to, just using sudo and start, and we can see based on the location we are putting right here. I say SRV, and then using the API and CSCI, and then API server.js like this. And also I will give a name. Okay, if you don't give a name, it will just put the location path. If you give a name, let's say it's the CSCI 422 is the name, then you will able to check it. And then if you modify PM2, PM2. So here is the node package. So here's the basic of the starting the application, how we install it. You can share also the link to here to you. Okay. So you'll see. And we have if you want to check the location right here, we can use the PM2 list, and then we can stop the service, restart it or delete it. So we can put the name and the ID. So you can put it based on the ID or the name. And we have another one is called the name. Let's see right here. We can have the log agent the way. So will be right here. So if you need, then you can actually I will recommend to install this one on your server. So it can let it like running behind the background. And if you execute the command will be you can use stop him and then with the name. And also this one is called watch. So the watch is for what watch is, you see right here, status is watching. Watching is like once you modify the content and save it, so it will reload automatically. So you don't have to like, let's say PM2 stop the service and then restart it one more time. But or like you using PM2 not the PM PM2 restart the ID, let's say like that. Then you don't have to do it. So once you save and the PM2 will automatically like reload the script. So you don't have to restart your server one more time. This we're going to use in right here. Okay. Then we look at the Nginx server block. I already modified. So if I connect to my server, so here's the result. Because I already modified. So if I want to get the data, API get items. So you see, we get the return value from the domain. So here's the things I modify from the Nginx. From the Nginx, I add one more block. Right here is called the location/API. So because for this one, I can handle both of it. One is the web page. Sometimes because we need to like deal with the web page, this one is redirect to the if I slash, here's our home, so it will be the index home file. So we just get anything. And if I put it as a /API and then with the route, then everything API will redirect to our local host 3000. If I want also, I can change it using the upstream like this. And then keep the name maybe API server like this. Also, I can do it in this way, but this one, we don't have to put it in this moment. So for the next time, if we need to try like doing load balancing, try to execute different server in different local hosts, then we will do it later. Okay, so when now for the proxy pass to a local host, and then we change the host value and then the remote address schema. So they are everything we refer to our local host. So after we forward to our local host, because it's already like executing in the service. So if you didn't install the PM2, then you need to do it by your own. So you need to like do the node and then start the API server like this. You need to execute by yourself. And what do you need to modify? Like based on the API server I gave you. First, for the path, we need to add the API. So you see /API. So this one will match with the Nginx API. So if you don't put the API, so it always get the error. Okay, so remember to add this one. Then you say, okay, can I use another name instead of API? Yes, for sure, you can change it. But API server is always a more clear that we can always put the name right here. And I changed the name right before. You see, you able to see to call items with two different methods. But for good habit, I would recommend, okay, sometimes if I want to get some value, I would say get items. But if I post, then I would say I will add item Or if I need to change the content, then I will use like modify, or I say update item. So all this will be like based on the name we create. Then make it more make sense. So right here we already get the file. So after we modify, then you should able to access like this. So far in this moment, that I will stop by here. Then I let you to try to modify your file. First is your Nginx, and also to modify your API server. So all these file I already upload to the D2L, so V5. So you should able to download it, and you can copy and modify. If you feel it's challenging to modify, you can just remove it and then place it, and then remember to replace with your own IPv4 DDNS and DNS, and also remember to change the directory, like where did you put, like maybe you have different folder right here. Okay, so I give you some time so you can start to work on this part, and let's see if you have any problem, and then you can ask me. But so far, do you have any question to follow? Like, or don't know what should you do in this moment? If anybody like able to make it, then you can share the screen. So I would like to see how it works. And then if you can put the domain like this, get the item and show the result, then you are able to follow it. So I will stop the. Okay. Before you say ready, I will keep this screen so you can easy to follow. Let's see this part, and then it's called a PM2. Also, we have the PM2 more. Small monitoring stop. So here is called a watch. So save and then hyphen with the name. Let me change my sharing option. Okay. If anybody willing to share, then you can share your screen. So based on your progress, then I can help you to look at it. So could you let like anybody of you able to modify the Nginx or modify your API server?
I think we're still working on it.
Okay, sure. Then I will wait for it. If you need to refer to the screen, then let me keep sharing the screen. Okay. So when you're working on it, then let me share the screen one more time and right here. Okay. Okay, since I already installed the PM2, so right now I will do is that I will do the PM2. I will stop the service 0. So this is what I'm executing right now. So it stopped it. So and then next step PM2, I want to delete the server 0 right here. So when it's gone, so you see the PM2 is gone, and then I use the PM2 to start the service. I using the path. Okay, I already have the path. So I would recommend like don't go to your directory and then just put a file, because when it execute, it always says start from the root path. So I recommend use your like for your absolute path is like source and then which file, API CSCI and then API file. I keep the name called CSCI, and then also I will using the comments like watch. So once I modify, then it change. So once I put enter, then the new service is on right now. That's how the PM2 works. And on the left hand side, I instead of showing then this one is the server I'm using. Let me show you the Nginx EC2. So if you see the Nginx available, and here's the CSCI folder. And if you modify the Nginx and you got an error, I think it do have some issue. Then when we change it, if you have the error, say it's the called the buffer name is not enough, remember to edit it. The call the server name change to 128. Before I think I changed to 64, but maybe the name is too long for the server name is too long, so the Nginx cannot handle it. So if you need to modify it, then you need to use a sudo nano and then it is as nginx and nginx config. And then just I need to change the configuration, modify the server name hash bucket size to 128 if you get the error. Here's another part need to remind you. Okay. Here's the config. For the PM2. So when I put the square bracket, it means like it's optional. You don't have to put it, but you can put it like better to provide better service. So helping you to easy to check. So you know, okay, this one is belongs to which server. If you need to refer some comments you need, then you can check the chat message and you can copy it. If you get any error or issue, then please let me know, and then you can share your screen. I can help you to fix it. Because I don't have programs, I will stop my share screen. So if in case any one of you need to ask how can you do it, then you can share your screen to me. How's your progress right now?
I'm
Mhm,
currently modifying the Nginx config.
mhm. Okay, could you share the screen to me that we can
Sure.
discuss with others? Maybe others have the same issue too. Okay. Okay.
So modifying it, and I just
Okay. So
added the 128.
okay. So you use the Control O to white out. That means save the file.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Control X to execute. And okay, so after you restore it, we need to restart the Nginx because the using a system, yeah, CTL to restart the Nginx. Only the configuration under the sites available. Okay, Nginx fails because the control process with the code surface.
Mhm. I think something in the config must have messed up.
Okay, okay, so you messed something. Do you just change the
I completely got rid of what the default config was and replaced it.
okay, I got you. Okay, I know the problem of your config. So this one is not the config file. This one is under the server block. So this one I gave you, it should be the, I think your copy mix up would be the if you remember the sites available and the
Yes.
config. Okay, so let me share my screen.
Okay, I see.
Okay, so if you let me see.
So
I
I need to recreate my
yes,
config, right?
yeah. So let me show you the file right here. Let me stop yours, then I can let you follow better. Okay. So I shall share my screen to you. So right here, try to be careful, don't mix up two files. The nginx.config I'm telling you, this one is we need to modify. It's called the bucket size. So in case because the problem of the AWS, their DNS name is too long, then when we handle it, it may not be able to read the whole file name, the server name. So we need to change it to 128. So what do you need to do? Just modify the 128 and that's it. And all the code will be same. If you lost the original one, I can share my config to you.
Yeah, could you do that?
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, I will.
Thank you.
Okay, let me share this one. And I don't think if faster is I post it on the chat. So if the syntax is not correct, then I post it on it's too long. Okay. I think it's too long. Then maybe I need to upload it to the D2L. So nginx.txt. I just put it as a nginx.txt and you can here. Let me close the text chat. Then nginx.txt. I'll save right here. If it's too big, then I'll upload this file to the D2 app so you can change it. Okay. I put it under. Okay. So I already upload the config file, so you should able to get it. Okay, so just be careful. Only need to change on the Nginx config is the bucket size. So that one, this one will read the server name. So because the AWS is too long, so we need to change it. So after you change the configuration, we are going to modify the file, the server block under the sites available. Always remember we modify the sites available file, so we'll be right here. So what do we need to modify is the whole part is here. We need to add the API. So if the one you are working, the one is like working, so you just need to add one more for the block is for API, location API / API right here. So we will redirect the proxy to the localhost 3000. Sometimes you will see people, they put 127.0.0.1. It also refer to the local host. And for the remaining, for the rest, we don't have to change it. Or like if you want, you can just delete your own one. And then you can copy mine and then replace all this, the server name, replace the server name. Then you should be okay. Until this step, do you have any problem?
I'm currently fixing my
Okay.
Nginx
Okay.
right now, so I haven't tried it.
Okay, you can check. Right here. So for all this, I already upload to the D2L. So the Nginx, the new one, the API server, I modified, and also the Nginx configs, the original. Okay, so all these files you can copy and download. How about others? Do you have any problem or you're just waiting? If no, I can let you to do it and we can meet next time. Then let me know if you can fix it or not. And if you want, you can share the screen to me. Then I can help you if you have any issue. So I will stop my screen so we can do it. Okay. if you want, you also can share your screen to me so I can see your steps if you're working okay. If you want, you can share to me.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm still getting issues.
Okay, you can share. Okay.
So
So
I
the Nginx, okay, the right now the Nginx traffic is not activate. So you can use the system status Nginx to check it. Is it running right now?
let me check.
Okay, system CTL status. Okay, so right now it's failed. So what we need to do, try to do the like you can use restart or you can use Q, yeah.
I tried this. It says it's
Reload is reload the configuration, but your right now it's not working, so you can use the system and then use the okay CTS restart Nginx because the control process error code. And if you use the system stop Nginx first, sudo system. Yes. Stop it and then check the status right now. It should be stopped. And then once you stop it, okay, it still fail. And then, okay, try to start it one more time. Okay.
try to stop it.
Start it.
Okay.
Okay, try to. Hmm. We just that reload is reload the configuration, the sites available. So you
Right.
yeah, just
Okay.
using start. Yeah, system CTL start Nginx. Okay, you still have the error message service. So did you remove the whole configuration file and
And yeah, I replaced it. I
mm,
also modified some stuff because I have my server files in the SRV in this
okay.
SRV thing.
Mhm.
Um, and so I modified it a little bit. So if we, um, what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, check the config. Okay.
Okay,
So
still have not yet
I
changed it.
switched the server name to mine.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So you can use please exit it first. So right now you see this one is called the nginx.config, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the nginx configs, you should use the syntax, like all the content I just posted to you called the nginx config. You should the one I gave you, I just upload to the D2L called the
Mm-hmm.
nginx config. So you need to replace it because this configuration should be under site available.
So okay.
The differences.
I-
This one
I'm
is the global setting of the Nginx. So this one is all the detail setting. So if you download the Nginx config.txt, you will see the configuration that looks different.
okay. So I'm confused.
Mm.
Um, so I modified. How do I fix my Nginx?
Okay, so for if
Nginx.
you use the sudo nano, this one,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you should remove everything, like remove all of them,
I can just
or you can just remove it. Okay. Nginx config, okay. And then assign, so you can use sudo nano and then create a new configuration file. Okay. And when it's empty, and copy my nginx config the txt file to here.
Okay.
Okay.
The TXT file, not the config?
It's called the nginx config.txt.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Use the config file.
One second.
Yeah, sure. Take your time. So when you copying, I think if you have the same confused, I just let you know. The file nginx configuration file is the decay or like all the variables, like how the nginx itself executing. But so this one is called the nginx configs. And what you need to change is only need to modify the server name, the hash to 128, and that's it.
Okay, so
Not this one, not this one,
not this one?
not this one. I should, if you go to D2L, I share the one, it's called the nginx -config, right?
Yeah, that's what I grabbed that from.
Ah, okay. I'm so sorry. Okay. Give me a second.
It's okay. No worries.
I think I mixed up these two files. Delete, and that's why you have the same issue.
I see.
Okay. Right here. Let me save again. Okay. And let me upload it one more time to you. Okay. Okay. I
What's
just
this one
upload
called?
it. It's the same called nginx config. You can download it one more time.
Okay.
Okay. So once you download it, you will see all the like content, it looks different.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you need to do? Just like
Okay.
yeah, modify one more time, paste it.
Oh, sorry. I guess I didn't copy it. Hold on.
Okay, take your time.
There we go.
Okay, yeah. So if you look at here, so when I ask you what do you need to change, do you see the server name has hash
Yeah, yeah,
size? Okay, so I
that's already
already
good.
want you to change it 128. So this
Yeah,
one already modified. So when I ask you what do you need to do, you just need to change it. Yeah, just like this. So you just need to use the Control O to save it, and then Control X. You can
that's it?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's what you need to modify from the file, and because we need to like make sure the execution correct. So what you need to do is like change the configuration, right? Is do you know how to check the configuration, like what's the permission for the nginx config?
Uh, sort of. I could do, um, it's sudo, right? And then,
The CMON. Okay, yes. This one for nginx, it will be 644.
okay,
Yeah. So it's mainly six will the first one will write and then it's
got you. Okay.
okay.
And so just do that.
Yes. Okay. So we change it just like make sure it's like under correct access, right? Okay. And also is this one is under the root, so it should be fine. Just like we need to change the permission, it's okay. And when you
Okay.
create, it should be under if you want to double check, do know how to check the right is using the ls -l. So you need to
Yes.
EDE and then check it, or like right now is under okay, this one you are still under your own directory. So when you
Yeah.
ls, you can use the
Can I do that? And then,
You can experience Nginx and just
okay, cool.
so when it's under root is 6. Okay, so this one is the directory. Okay, so it's under root. So just one is make sure it's under root is okay. Okay, so what you need to do in the next step is modify the ngx available file. So you can use sudo nano etc. We need to add a slash. Okay, slash etc. Can you access to the okay, and then nginx, and then site available, and then what is your name? If
It
you can use
should
that.
be.
You can
I
use the
just had,
tab. You can press the tab 2 times. It
oh
will.
yeah,
Okay, so you have the default, and then there's several. You can pick one you're using.
this is the one that
You're
it's like
using.
all going to.
Okay. Okay, so this one you need to modify. Will be okay. This one. Okay. So because you follow the step using the servbot.
Yeah, and I had a like a domain, so I just used that and I got
Okay,
Servbot to
perfect.
work.
Okay, if you want, you can, of course, you can keep the domain. You can use it for yourself.
Mhm.
Then what you need to do, just like add the proxy.
Add what?
Um, if you look the nginx file, so what you need to do, just add the location slash API there. And also, I would recommend because you already installed the FPM, so put all this like under the server, like
Okay.
inside the server, so you can like right now you have the location slash, right?
Uh,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so what you need to do under location slash or out out of it. So you need to put another one out of it.
Like this?
Yes, and then you can add location slash API. So it's the same structure. Give the space to it. Okay. Okay.
Like that?
Um, if you can you refer to the my nginx txt.
Yes. One
Okay,
sec.
look at it. And do you see there's a called a location block for the happy JS API?
Yeah, and I
Okay,
can
so what
grab
you need
that.
to do is just like put the location API, that one. Also,
Yeah.
if you want, you can add the one is like with the .php is the FPM. Also, you can add those to your file, like to it. So just like the structure. Yeah. And then you should able to do that. Maybe
To make sure it's
okay. Okay, yeah, you can just copy and paste. Either way is fine. Okay,
right.
okay, good. And
Okay.
yeah, so the indentation, it won't affect your code, but it's still like it will work, but it just looks more pretty. Okay, so this one, after you save it and then you link it to the to your available.
Do I have to do the PHP
Um,
part as well though?
Also, I recommend add the PHP, the
Hmm.
PHP
Okay.
FPM. Yeah, so you can do that. But right now, in this moment, because I think it's almost the time, so you can try to finish the rest and then see if you can use your domain name to access to the slash API and get the item content from your server. If you have any issue, keep the question, then we can go through again in the coming on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Is that good though? Is that all I needed to put in here?
yes, yes. It looks good. Yeah.
Okay. Can we just confirm that
Um,
Nginx works now?
this one after you save, you need to remove the enable, the sites of enable,
Remove the enable?
sudo rm and
Hmm?
then etc nginx site enable and then put your ec2 to remove this file. Yeah.
We want to remove it?
Yeah, remove it first. And then do the linkage again, sudo ln-s and start from the etc nginx available and put your file name again.
This one?
EC2, yes,
Okay, one sec. Let me
you
grab
can put
the,
that tag. Yeah,
gotta grab it from AWS real quick.
okay. Actually, you have it, so you can put EC2 and then tab it. It will come auto complete.
Oh,
Okay, so put a space.
well, I thought we just removed it.
Oh no, this one is under
We,
available.
well, we just removed it.
Oh, okay. I know why. So sorry, because we need to remove the one is under site enable, not available. Um,
Okay.
okay, we need to copy one more time. And if you need the so when now we stay until the maybe you need to create one more time. Just like using Nano, and I will give you. Did you have the SSL file I post before? Let me see. Port 443.
Let me look.
Okay, so you can like follow that one and just like change to your own domain and we play with the local host. And for this part, if you need help, I can give you the sample code. You can replace it.
Okay. I, I guess I'm just confused on how I'm supposed to repair
Okay,
what,
so remember right here when we're working on the Nginx, enable is the, if you will see the folder sites available and sites enable, right? So when every time when we modify or change the content, we need to remove from enable. So right now you should have a link file called EC2 when you type it.
there's nothing.
Do you have a file called EC2 from enable?
I'm tabbing and there's nothing there.
If you put it's empty.
Oh, I think so. Or wait,
Okay, please check. Yeah, and EC2.
there
Yeah.
it
Okay.
is. Okay.
So always remember to delete the enable file because when you try to reload, if you got a problem because you forgot to link the file. So right now we remove from the enable, and all the file we need to edit is from site available.
Okay, but
So
do I
you
need to
can use,
link?
yeah,
Do I need a link
sudo.
now?
Okay, sudo. But right now it's empty right now.
Right.
Yeah, so right now we need to create a new file. You can put the same name called the sudo nano and then EC2 nginx sites available. Okay. And you can put the same name because you have the history, so you can maybe copy and whatever. Yeah.
I'll just grab it.
Okay, yeah, you can grab it and paste it, and then you can, okay, yeah, create a new one. And if you want, you can use my sample code first and then change to your name. And what's the differences? You need to add the path of your SSL.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you need to do? Like you change the server name to your own and then change the SSL to yours domain and
Okay, yeah.
add two more files, two location file. One is the API, one is, and you just need to change the API file, then it's good. Yeah.
So what we just did a second ago.
Yeah, we just did, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so after you finish this part and you start your engine, the happy.js server, then you should able to access from the website. You can try to complete it. If you still have a problem, then you can show me. Then I will help you to go through one more time for Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
So right here, I would just put,
The API, yes, correct.
and then change all the domain names and
Yes, change.
it should work again.
Yes, it should work again. Yeah.
Okay.
So I change all the file. And remember when you register your the servbot, the Let's Encrypt, you can check the name, which one you are using. Do you put www or without it? Do you know how to check it?
Uh, I'm not
That's the
exactly
thing,
sure.
certificate. Okay, you can control O first, save it and exit, control exit.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you can use the list file ls and then slash etc. Sorry, no, yeah, etc and then let's encrypt lets and then yeah, and then live live and then just put it enter. Okay, you need to ask to do. Okay, so you didn't put the double dot. So when you put the folder, remember only put this one without the double dot. Okay.
So, and I could just put this for all the domain names.
Um, for domain name, you can add double dot or without it, but for the SSL directory, so you can hit sudo nano etc nginx
And then,
sites available,
okay.
and then your EC2. Okay. So right here, did you see the SSL certificate?
Yeah.
Okay, so remember you need to replace it without the double dot.
Okay. So would
Yeah.
I put the EC2 here or would I put the
No, your
actual
domain name.
domain?
Your domain.
Okay.
Your domain. Yeah. So and then for the other domains, depends on you. Okay, if you want to let your website handle like start with www, then you can keep the structure like what I give you. If no,
Okay.
you can just like remove the www. Also, like if you check the follow in the bottom server 80, I handle both like www and without www, and we direct it to HTTPS, right? With the www. So it depends on you. If you want to keep it, then you can just depends on which one you would like to redirect to.
Okay.
And because if you look at the structure, like because I put my like called the main or the root is with the www dot something dot net, right? Your domain name. Then if somebody
Yeah.
did type it, I will do the redirection to it. So if that's why you see the last one, the last server block I use, I handle the one is like with I put the SSL certificate and I redirect to with the. So do you catch the?
Okay. So,
Mhm.
um, I think I understand. So basically what's happening is when someone goes in from a
Mhm.
non-secure channel, it'll just redirect them to the secure one.
Yes. So all
Okay.
this will be referred to the top, the one from line one.
Oh, okay. So I don't have to modify any of this?
If you want to use them, you need to modify the name and the directory
Okay.
domain, and then you see the directory over there. So all
Right
different.
here?
Yeah. So this one also you need to modify, change
And
to
but what about
yours.
this one?
Also yes. So when
Okay.
you see all the like dot domain should be placed to yours. Okay,
Okay.
got you.
And that is not the EC2, that's the the
And
the the
yeah.
domain name I purchased. Okay.
Yes, the one you purchased. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
I'll try that.
Okay, you try. If you still have problem or like because you are using your own, so it will be a good example to other student, and you can
Oh,
try. If you have a problem, you can ask me on Wednesday.
okay, sounds good.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you. Have a good one.